Hello everybody at the Free of 50 world. It has been a hot minute, so I wanted to take some time this morning to drop another video based on a Free at 50 blog post. And today's post is going to be about having an Instagram strategy. So, disclaimer, I am no Instagram expert by any means, but what I am is a blogger and an entrepreneur who has been using Instagram for the last couple of years, few years, to build my brand and build some awareness. It's not a major driver to my blog as far as traffic goes, because any of you guys that use Instagram regularly, you know that you're using it to scroll and for kind of a quick fix, so to speak. So there's a lot of different ways to utilize Instagram, and I feel like I've found, at least for this moment in time and where I am with my blog and my business, I have kind of a strategy that is working for me at this point. And that is really about collaboration and finding people who have commonalities with the Free at 50 blog and with me as an entrepreneur. So with that being said, I put together a blog post and I'm going to summarize the highlights of it in this video. And then of course, if you visit the Free at 50 blog and you just use the little search box and search Instagram, you can catch it at any time. But here are 5 ways to make sure that as an entrepreneur, you can utilize Instagram and a strategy to work for you. So the first tip is setting your account up for success. So I've taken numerous Instagram courses, and over time I've watched people that have been a little bit more of an expert in Instagram. And one of the things that I think is really important, whether it's Instagram or any social media for whatever your new business is, if you're doing marketing for yourself, that is branding. And branding isn't just a look, which is very important. Having consistent colors and having a consistent theme with your fonts, those are very important things. And it's not just the look, but also the feel. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I like coffee and that I am all about sharing my Free at 50 lifestyle, because that's my brand, right? Encouraging everyone out there to take the time for yourself, prioritize your priorities. And for me, that meant moving to where I used to vacation, which is Colonial Williamsburg. I've even started a second blog on history because of it. All of that is visible, quick. If you just take a look at my feed, if I come up in your feed, you're gonna see little bits of my brand, the Free at 50 lifestyle, the colors that are recognizable, and all of that, branding cohesiveness, but also the message. So that's also part of the brand, right? So having your profile clear with your message, who you are, who should be following you, and why, in addition to the content that is about your message and makes sense for your brand, right? So that's, sharing your story, showing some behind the scenes, and at the same time, making sure that you're providing value, that people who choose to follow you are getting something out of it. Secondly, knowing who to follow. So it's not just who's following you, but who are you following? People in your niche are important, people that you could possibly collaborate with. And, for me, that's other people who are speaking to Gen Xers, late millennials, people that are looking at their next step after they've earned their skills and built them up over years and want their next chapter to be about time freedom. So I am always on the lookout for people who speak to those people as well, or people who are living that dream, living that lifestyle, because Free at 50 isn't an age or a number, it's a lifestyle. So on my blog, I share other people's stories, whether that is through interviews, which I'm starting an annual summer series of interviews. So 2024 will mark the second year of that, but the third set of interviews. And I'm always looking for people who can inspire others with their story. So, when you're looking for who to follow, also add inspirational feeds to that. Who can keep you going, right? So I follow some blog coaches. I follow people who can inspire me to do better with my business, right? and people who I have things in common with. I also follow some people who are involved with history because that is of interest to me. And sometimes that crosses over into people who are utilizing their love for history in their new chapter, in their business. And there is some definite crossover once you kind of, figure out who your ideal client is and you start building your brand. Finding people that you resonate with can sometimes be just people you have things in common with, and then it crosses over into business. So number one, setting up your account, including your profile for success. Number two, knowing who to follow. And number 3 out of 5, batching your tasks. This is a really important one. So, people can quickly get overwhelmed with social media, me included. And once I got a hold of Meta Business Suite for Instagram and Facebook, and, for Pinterest, I actually use the Pinterest scheduling tool. Being able to schedule in advance, whether it's 1 week at a time, 2 weeks, or a month, or longer, having your graphics created all at once. That's what I do. I take I create a whole mess of graphics. I batch that task, so to speak. I do it in a batch, and then I have all of those ready to use. And then in the same sitting or another sitting, when I batch time, block time on my calendar for Instagram or whatever social media it is, I go ahead and schedule all the way through. And that makes creating, your captions and your content a lot easier. So for me, I do it every week or two for Instagram. And, as a blogger, it's typically based around what blog post I have coming up, but also the Free at 50 lifestyle and engaging content that may provide value or just may connect me with people because of my backstory and their backstory and what puts us all together. So batching your tasks, and the 2 easiest ones to do are creating the graphics all at once and, of course, scheduling your content all at once. Number 4 out of 5, keeping your account clean. And this one isn't always that easy, but you can remove followers that are clearly spam. I think that's an important thing. And unfollow people who are not serving you. Those accounts that, every once in a while, every few months, I go back and see who hasn't posted anything. And it's amazing to me. Sometimes I'll see accounts that are basically dead. They haven't posted anything in 6 months, a year, even 2 years, I've found. So those accounts, removing those, unfollowing them, but then also removing what are clearly spam accounts to your that are following you, so that you have legitimate accounts following you. And there are articles. My friend Cindy with the Scent Storycraft has put together something really valuable on her website to how to identify bad accounts. So that is another thing, keeping your account clean. And the final one is kind of a given, especially if you're on this channel because you're like me and you spent time in the corporate world. You know that you can't improve what you do not measure. So analytics and statistics are important. So tracking statistics, right? So choosing the right ones, and that takes some time to figure out, but also, just some of them are kind of common sense, right? Followers, one thing I have found is the amount of followers are not important. My amount of followers has stayed kind of consistent, slightly growing over the last year or two, but they've changed out. Some people have unfollowed and new people have followed. I've removed bad accounts that I've recognized to be bad accounts and spam accounts. But the really important thing is engagement. What content are people following? What are your top posts? Why are people following those posts? And watching your engagement grow, your profile visits, seeing if people are actually, checking into who you are and taking that next step. So if this is something you're interested in, I hope this has been helpful. I'm gonna close out with a call to action because I always do. First is utilizing my profile here on the channel and on all my social media to follow me wherever you hang out. And of course, the Free at 50 blog. And if you want to talk about creating a blog as a marketing tool, or utilizing, putting something into action that's been holding you back, whether it's setting up your Instagram and getting it rolling with the right content, I have a new 3-2-1 strategy program. It's called the 3-2-1 Take Action program. And that program is concise, comprehensive, and affordable. And if it's something you want to do, work with me for a couple of months to get over a hump, make a goal happen, take action on something you've been putting off, reach out to me. And if you have any comments, I'd love to see them below. Thanks and take care.